What's up? Today we're going to be talking about a game you've probably never heard of. But don't worry, because in a couple of days I'll do like this Mad Club Penguin video. For the time being though, I wanted to talk about a game, maybe to introduce some of you to a game that you probably never played before. Now, it all started in 1997. And basically this game came out. Let me see if I can find it. This game was a shite, you may ask. Well, this is Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, the first in a series of Oddworld, which was a game series, and still is a game series, basically centering around this fictional world called Oddworld. And it focuses on many characters, one of which being Abe from the first game. There's also a guy called Stranger, there's a guy called Munch. It covers several games. They've not finished it yet. Now, in 2005, I believe, the company went bankrupt. Oddworld Inhabitants, the company that were making Oddworld, just bankrupted because I think Xbox were shafting them and didn't even give them a marketing budget for this game because they were Xbox exclusives for a while. They used to be PlayStation exclusives, interestingly. But the second game in the Oddworld series is the sequel to Abe's Odyssey, and it's called Abe's Exodus. Now, if you've not played Abe's Exodus, well, to be fair, if you've not played Abe's Odyssey either, you won't get Abe's Exodus, but you need to play Odyssey and Exodus, because Odyssey's fantastic, and Exodus is genuinely one of my favourite games of all time. And I'll put a picture up, but I've got a little poster, little Oddworld Abe's Exodus poster up there, and I've got this wee, it's like a necklace or something, but I can never untie it because it's but yeah, look, it just goes like that. So I don't put it on because it's uncomfortable as well, but it's a cool thing to have. It's limited edition, you know what I mean? And yeah, so let's actually talk about the game. Basically, it's a game where these evil company owners are basically using what are called Mudokons, this race of weak little people, basically to make various products. They're enslaving them. Now, you play as a Mudokon called Abe in this particular game, and the whole joke is Abe is completely useless. As opposed to in other games like Duke Nukem, you're playing as this, he's smoking a cigar, he's got this massive gun, he's super macho, but in this game's case, he's useless. He dies in one hit, he can't jump really that high, he hasn't got an attack, so it's a strategy game. Well, it's kind of a strategy game. It's they call it a puzzle action platformer. So yeah, they did a HD complete redo of Abe's Odyssey recently, called Oddworld New and Tasty. Now, I recommend you play that because it's got features like a quick save that probably should have been in the original game but wasn't. And the second game was an improvement. On the PS1, Abe's Exodus had a quick save and things like that, but the problem was the game publisher wanted them to make this game in 9 months, whereas the original game took 3 years to make. And they're like, well, what do we do? The original one took us 3 years, how are we going to make this? So they rushed it. Now, while it's a fantastic game, and I have no idea how they made a game that was double the length of the first one in a third of the time, no idea how they did that. Supposedly they had something where you could they had to eat healthy food, and they did all these things to make them work harder, and it worked, I guess, paid off. I prefer Abe's Exodus to Abe's Odyssey, but you could tell it's made quicker. Whereas the original is dripping with atmosphere, and it's so detailed, all the backgrounds, all the backdrops. The second one is not got the same atmosphere. It's really just purple or green or grey fog and machinery, basically the entire game, whereas the original had forests and deserts and meat processing plants and all that. So basically, whereas they made an HD remake of Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, the first one, with the same script and the same cutscenes and whatever, they're making one of Abe's Exodus, but since they weren't too happy with the fact that it was rushed, they're putting time into rewriting it. So it's going to be a different game this time. And what they're doing is, to get the small but very passionate fan base excited. They're doing what's called, I think it's called an ARG, where like they do like these mysterious accounts on Twitter and these like websites to tease the parts of the game, as opposed to just saying on Twitter, "Oh, we're making a game." We'll do like at 12x4, and he'll say some like cryptic thing, and you have to decode it and all that. So if I turn on Bandicam here, I'll have to sync it up with my voice, so I'll just do 3, 2, 1, start recording. As you can see, they've got this wee website here. This is Oddworld Soulstorm, which is the name of this remaster. And, well, I say remaster, it's a new game, just with the same plot, basically, but totally different, like cutscenes and things like that. So it's like, the mysterious Spirit of 1029 group claims to work for the good of the Moodokans and to have information about a new horror being perpetrated. That horror is a product called Soulstorm, which is this addictive brew that was being made with slave labour, basically. And you can see they have like this website called 1029.io, and look at this, it's all like the fall of RF-129 was the spark to ignite a revolution. I don't know what RF-1029 is, that's a new thing. For too long they have controlled the giant industrial machines grinding the bones of our kind into dust in their endless pursuit of power and wealth. In Abe's Exodus they were using Moodokan bones and Moodokan tears to make Soulstorm. It was the addictive part. So they have these screenshots that were like decoded through various sources by the fan base, which is kind of interesting. And the first one is this, and it shows a Gluckin, who are like the bosses, and all these little Moodokans carrying things. Now, yeah, basically this was done by, they had a secret address on one of their websites, which had like a bunch of ripped photos, and every time you reloaded it, it made a new photo, and I think it was 8, and the fanbase joined it up, and it made something along the lines of this. So it ended up looking like this once they put them all together, and then the official Twitter said, we're gonna enhance the image, and they came out with this. And then they've got this new one, and I wasn't really paying attention for the past week or so, but this is a photo in what looks like, I think it's the tear machines that extract the tears of these Moodokans that make the Soulstorm brew. And yeah, it's all very interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to the game, considering how much I love Abe's Exodus, the original. So yeah, they've got like 3 Twitter accounts. They've got this guy called Ed on Twitter, Ed Moodokan, and yeah, he just does stuff like this. What happened? What did you do? Who? No, arg. So yeah, it's very cryptic. It's not even like, it's stuff like this. P7 source ... I don't think everything on here means something. However, it's really just to build a certain degree of hype, and it's working. I mean, folk are getting genuinely excited on, like, there's forums and things like that. So yeah, interesting. I recommend you buy, I think on Steam. Let's get Steam up. Once it loads here. Updating Steam. Wonderful. Yeah, on Steam. I'll talk while it's loading. They have Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus, as well as the next 2 games, Munch's Odyssey and Stranger's Wrath, on Steam. They're all for the PC. The ports are a bit dodgy. Let's go into the store here. They have, is it called the Odd Box? And it's all of them. Yeah, $9.99. Yeah, it's got, I've got all of them. It's got Abe's Exodus, Abe's Odyssey, Munch's Odyssey, and Stranger's Wrath. That's not in the right order, but yeah, it's £10 to get 4 games, which has a combined playtime of, well, let's see how long I've played them for. I've also got New and Tasty, which is the remaster. So 12 hours for Abe's Odyssey, 20 hours for Exodus. It's a long game. Munch's Odyssey, 17 hours. I haven't finished it because honestly, if I'm being honest, Munch's Odyssey is bollocks. Stranger's Wrath HD, 15 hours. So that's a lot of game time for 10 quid. And I got it on sale for like 5. So I recommend, even if Exodus is just on sale, you don't really have to play the first one to understand it. I mean, you sort of get the plot immediately. I say immediately. After a while, it just sort of recaps. I think there's a cutscene that you can play, like in the options menu, and it shows you what happened in the first game. And I got this. I got Abe's Exodus for 50p. 50p for 20 hours. And I've seen folk who have played it for 150, getting all the secrets and stuff like that, like on the reviews. So I absolutely recommend you get Abe's Exodus and Odyssey and all the rest of them. It's not everybody's type of game. It's a puzzle action platformer. It's not a first-person shooter, and it's very frustrating. More so the first game, Abe's Odyssey, because that doesn't have a quick save. So you're dying in like one hit and going back maybe 5 or 6 minutes. But it's what happens. It's the point. It's supposed to be frustrating. The second one, absolutely excellent. If you're going to get one of them, get Exodus. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this new game, Oddworld Soulstorm. So, look, he does. It's like a little GIF. It's so interesting, because after they really started doing all these, like, cryptic teasers, he started moving. I don't know what that means. It was just an image before. But yeah, there you go. Whether you care or not, here's a game that I think you should buy when it comes out. I was thinking of wearing my little necklace thing throughout this video, but I couldn't untie it, so... Anyway, bye-bye. In a couple of days, possibly even tomorrow, I'll have a brand new video up. Me playing Club Penguin. I'm going to make a brand new account, because I think they've deactivated my last one. So, bye-bye.